The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Mid Carolina Service Company.
Mid Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason and Clint. They'll hook you up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153 or visit midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today. This episode of Hilltop Glove Podcast is proudly sponsored by Your Dollar Store, located at 3017 Farrell Road in Columbia, South Carolina. Owned by Brian Thomas, Your Dollar Store has been serving the community since June 2021 with a mission to provide fresh produce and essential household items to neighborhoods in need, serving areas like Booker Washington Heights and other nearby locations affected by grocery store closures. Your Dollar Store is a convenient one-stop shop for those seeking healthier food options and affordable essentials. Support a local business that's dedicated to giving back. Your Dollar Store, where you can shop, chat, and leave with a smile.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by True Brilliance Entertainment.
True Brilliance is a production, promotions, and management company dedicated to connecting artists and producers across the Carolinas to music industry professionals.
Several of their clients have placements both domestic and internationally as a result of their services.
Are you an artist or producer looking to build meaningful relationships within the music industry? Then True Brilliance is for you. Check them out at paramilitary.com. That's spelled P-A-I-R-A military.com.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast.
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 The Hilltop Glove Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with the talented Toni Esther, an African-American unsigned independent artist from Florence, South Carolina. Toni began her career at an early age, singing in the church, and has since evolved into a well-rounded raps, writes, and produces her own music. Toni's stage name, Esther, is inspired by the biblical character who was the queen that sacrificed herself to free her people. Her music is shaped by the influences of legends like Jay-Z, Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah, Tupac, J. Cole, and Big KRIT. Her philosophy, out of the box, reflects her unique way of thinking and the depth of her meaning in her lyrics. She encourages her listeners to think beyond conventional boundaries, both musically and intellectually. For more information or to how to engage with Toni, visit her website, sc.com, where you can find or purchase merchandise and learn about her artist consultation services. And thank you, Toni, for being with us today.
Thank you. I feel honored.
Finally.
A legend in the building. Come on, legend.
No.
Blessed.
Yes, that's good.
Good.
So we always see you at events and stuff
Yes.
like that. So I was like, it's about time we have her on the show.
Lord have mercy. What you saying?
Long overdue.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
We've been at other events with you and other shows with you, but never on our.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we all never get to talk to you as a group or like one-on-one like this. It's always like some other things going on. And the networking events, we don't get a lot of time to actually dive into,
Yeah.
What do you do, who you are,
Ooh,
what's the meaning?
to somebody.
Yes.
It's a little old somebody.
Like that. So humble. But that's one thing that we like about you.
Yeah,
You're humble,
yeah.
which is dope. Now, since you're here on our podcast finally, if you could tell our audience a little bit about who you are,
Okay.
where you come from, and what it was like growing up. And the most, I think this is always a good question because I always wonder, do you have any siblings? Because it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I have one brother, older brother, and a younger sister. Older brother.
Middle child.
I'm the middle
You're the
child.
best.
I'm a middle child.
You're the
Okay.
best.
Oh, you
All middle children up here. They never middle children too, bro.
Yeah, listen, I'm a middle child. I'm a proud middle child. Like I said, I'm a little awkward. You know, what
As we all are.
We all-
Yeah.
grew up weird. So I grew up in Lamar, South Carolina.
Okay.
Shout out.
Very, very small,
Yeah.
small one stoplight town. You know, proud Silver Fox, and then I grew up in Florence,
Mhm.
South Carolina. Where it was a culture shock a little bit.
It's popping.
Went
town.
to West Florence High School. Where I went.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I went to West Florence for 1 year, and then went to Wilson. That is where I graduated.
Okay.
Wilson.
All
High
right, now
School.
what do
Yeah.
you like now, Wilson?
HB. What
Yeah.
do you say? HBHU,
Mhm.
historically black high school. It's
Yes.
almost like a
Yes.
university.
It really is.
Yeah, it's a big
I know,
deal in
right?
Florence.
Oh, you don't. Yeah, Wilson is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
big deal.
Check it out.
Yeah, but I grew up. I tell people all the time. I joke. I can joke about this now. I grew up po.
They couldn't afford the O and R.
We couldn't afford the O and the R. I grew up po.
Oh Lord.
My biggest influence though, what really carried me through life was music.
Mhm.
It was music. My dad actually was my biggest influence. He had the mic in my hand. He had the voice.
Mhm.
He had the he didn't play any instruments, but his voice.
His voice.
That was the instrument.
Yeah. He taught me everything I knew as far as music.
And you learned sound just from hearing him, or in his?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he grew up. I grew up listening to him in the choir. He sung in the choir, and then he would also sing in the club.
You know how they did it back in the day.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
club.
that's how they did it back in the
They do
day.
it now too.
Do it in
Um,
the club. No, seriously,
yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
the best talent. That's how you get it.
And actually, my grandfather, I didn't know that. My grandfather, actually.
Yo, shout out Ted Dance. Shout out Ted.
So we
Go ahead, talk trash. Tell him, tell him.
know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead, tell him.
So the whole time, I did not know he married my cousin.
Your cousin.
Nisha, my wife, that's her cousin. Yes.
So Nisha is my Nisha's mom.
Yep.
Is my first cousin.
Oh, so y'all related?
Yeah.
Y'all family now.
Yeah, no, and we found out cause I kept seeing, and I'm looking at her face. This is what messed it up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her face because I met her grandfather and everything. I'm looking at her face. I've been around with people. I'm like, she looks too familiar, but I don't know her, right?
Yeah.
And so one day I walked up and I asked her who it was, etc. And I was like, you gotta be.
Yeah.
You gotta be. And then she started saying the names. I was like, okay.
Oh, wow.
And Nisha was there sitting there, didn't even know who it was.
Yeah.
It was funny because Nigel, her brother, came down today, and he's one of there's not many males on that side, a lot of women.
Yeah.
And so he's like one of that side. And so we always tease the son dance because there's not many dance boys, right?
Yeah.
And so he was supposed to be here today, but he had to ride with her. They went to Sumter today.
Yeah.
They had to go see the family because I didn't want just so y'all know, dealing with some issues with air conditioning. And so I didn't want him in the heat because he medical no problems up in here. So he didn't get to come see, but he was like, I want to meet her. I said, hey, hopefully everything go well tonight. We'll get you out to the event and you'll be able to see it. Yeah.
Event tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Yeah. Because they excellent band. Because we got to actually bother you on that Friday last week to see them perform.
Yeah.
Because I told Toni, I've always listened to Toni's music.
Yeah.
Online on stuff, and but I've always saw you at events, and so to see you actually perform live was dope.
I appreciate it.
Was really dope. That was my first time actually
It
getting to
was
see.
nerve-wracking.
I know what you telling me.
Yeah, I
You sit up
was.
front like this.
Yeah,
I was like, "Are you
I
okay?"
was. Listen, I haven't performed in a while because
And explain to him. So
I took a hiatus.
Mhm.
I took a hiatus, a sabbatical, because my dad passed away in May.
No.
Yeah, so it was
a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot going on, but it's crazy how I started reconnecting with my dad's side.
Yeah.
Oh, the family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like everybody, it's ever since the funeral, I'm like, oh my God, this is good.
Yeah.
You got a support system. There's folks around. Yeah.
Yeah, not just my mom's side.
Exactly. It happens like that sometimes.
Dad's side, I think that was something that was always missing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the music side, because
that is the music side, because they're all talented.
Everybody.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I've been to some of the events that the family does, right? And I'll be at the event, someone will start bringing out music to start singing. Everybody sounds like they should be signed to some kind of
Wow.
And I'm sitting there just listening, and they're like, "Hey, you sing too?" And I'm like, "Y'all sure y'all want this?"
Yeah.
I'll try. I don't sound good.
To your music, I was doing your research, trying to learn more to do your bio, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she sounds like she's been doing this for years." And I'm like, there has to be some other or something.
Grew up in the church.
Yeah.
Church choir. Yeah, church choir. And then, like I said, I always had that musical influence in me from my dad, because, he listens to Temptations, to the brown paper bag music. I don't know if y'all know about that. That's that music.
I don't know about that. Tell me about that.
Tell the audience about what brown paper.
Okay.
Wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's what it always been. And it was more like a feeling thing instead of a
train.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a feeling.
So what was it like for you as a kid? What were you like? Inspired you and you grew up in the church, but what was it like for you?
So my family didn't even know, because my brother sings as well. He does quartet. He does all kind of things as far as music. But they didn't know we sung until we was at like a birthday party. They videotaped it, and I hope somebody still has that tape. I think we had to been I had to been like 10, and I sung, and they was like, "What?" So ever since then, we in the church. It's like, what?
They done heard your voice. They like,
we're gonna use her for everything.
Yeah.
So ever since then, getting on the choir, and pretty much all my life, but I really didn't take it seriously until I'm gonna say about 2017 is when I really got out there and decided to do this thing for real. Yeah.
More than just something that you did for fun.
Yeah, because I did it in the church, and I grew up in the church. Shout out to the church.
Shout out to.
It's I gotta go beyond the four walls.
Yeah.
You
expose yourself.
Yeah.
Know who you are.
And I didn't choose gospel, but it's soul, period.
Yeah. That's what I feel when I listen to your music, the soul. And I was like, who influenced her? Like, they did some good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, bravo.
Church and my daddy and my uncles, and back there on Friday nights, and
that's so real. That's so real.
Yeah.
You can see the authentic aspect of that in your music. I know this next question, and this doesn't make sense because I know you as your professional life, but Piece and Pieces.
Mm-hmm.
If you can explain your process to Piece and what are some of the hardships that you overcome in the years, especially from what we were just talking about, and how you authentically express it in words through your music, just so our audience can understand some of that process that you create the artistry that you do.
Oof. Okay. I would say the last few years, even when I started taking this thing, I would say seriously. No, let's go all the way back. So I grew up hardship, right? So it's almost like I had to sing my way through everything. I was a writer and a singer as a kid. And then fast forward 2018. So a lot of people don't know this because I don't really talk about this. I was actually married. Yeah. Why are you looking like that? Because I didn't know that. I was married.
Anywhere. I swear.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see anything that says
I was married. I had a real Kardashian marriage. It was for a year.
A real Kardashian marriage.
Maybe like a few months or whatever. But I found myself. How can I say this? We're gonna get real, y'all.
Go ahead, get real. Get this over here.
I found myself in a situation where I was married to my ex. I don't even want to say his name, but
you don't need to.
He all right. But I was married to him and didn't realize that was something that I didn't want to be in. I didn't know why. I was very, very depressed in my marriage. And I felt like growing up in the church, that was the right thing to do. Doing everything right, I was how can I say this? They say don't shack up.
Yeah.
We didn't do any of that. got into it and still felt depressed. So I had to write about it. There's a lot of things that I wrote about. So when I got out of that during COVID, which was crazy because I was in grad school at the time.
That's a lot.
Dual
Whoa.
stressors.
Everything.
Well, actually 3 because COVID, and
yeah. So going through all of that during that time, that's how the Vulnerability Project came about.
That's how I found out about you.
Yeah. So it was that was birthed out of that, like just relationship stuff, and then trying to be vulnerable with myself, with the world. What that is. Now, out of that came the Blocklist Podcast, is how we all came, together. But through all of that, like I really gained. I think that was the beginning of me finding myself, like realizing who I was through my message. Because my mama would say, "I heard that song that you sung. You got to be careful how you sing that thing, and you need to be a little bit more creative on how you say things because your little cousins, they listening."
Oh yeah, they paying attention. Yeah, to everything.
So you can't just say you out here doing this and using all your words and stuff. You got to of the things that you say.
Thank you for that.
My mama,
thank you for that.
Lady, a professional at the end of the day, and people are watching. So that allowed me to be more creative in how I write and how I do things. So Vulnerability Project came about, and then I started doing the group sessions. So I'm gonna use this degree. I don't know how I'm gonna use it. This counseling degree. I'm gonna use it.
Counseling. Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's so. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, everything just started piecing together. Because one of my good friends, which is Calvin Graham in Columbia, we met in grad school. And he actually helped me through my divorce, like very encouraging and all the other, stuff or whatever. And I decided to make him a part of the Vulnerability Project sit-down show. And he's gained clients through I didn't know that.
Smart.
Yeah. Like, what?
I was like, wait, what's my 20%? I'm going to pull a Denzel.
Nah, I said, man, listen, like, you are my, we used to pick at each other. He's my Ayanna Van Zandt. But he has helped me tremendously. And through all of that, everything just keep happening. It's like, I'm using this degree in one, because I'm also a school counselor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Isn't that, all that?
I do a lot.
Yeah, all the hats.
In my career specialist.
Please do.
Certification right now.
We need it in South Carolina.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. We need it bad in South Carolina. Yeah, because these kids, they need help. But
they lost.
The arts are going to save our kids.
Right?
Yeah.
I think the same thing, because you pull out so much in a person through art. Because that's what I feel about my teachers at Benedict. They pulled all the art out of me, and now I'm doing all this stuff. But it's because of them. They saw it in me. I didn't see it in myself. But each person has it within them in some form.
It's know what it is.
It's a spiritual connection, because I'm a very spiritual person. Not religious, but spiritual.
There's a difference.
It's a spiritual connection that stands with that, but it's also you finding yourself in the way to express yourself. Because that's how I had to do it. I tell my kids, I can't teach y'all something that I don't know myself.
Yeah.
So this is the way that I learned to do it. And I always felt like, God is very funny. Like he puts you in situations to where you have to teach others.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of the struggles that I went through as a kid is to teach kids how to get out of situations themselves. So that's how all of this came about, and I'm very fortunate to be Toni Esther and do this thing called music that I love to express myself.
And you're doing it so well.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
That kind of goes into our next question, the message in the music. Yeah. So you've been dropping music since 2019. If you had to pick one of your favorite songs, what would it be?
Okay. So I just released a song. That's one. I got two. I just released a song called Beloved. So it's on my upcoming project, Beloved. I don't know why I call it Beloved. Movie.
I was about to say that was one. It's strong. It's a strong movie. I'll put it like that. Strong.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Yeah, a little creepy.
But it was basically everything that I went through from 2020 until now. It's like me learning to love myself. When I didn't. I'm getting up on stage with a mic in my hand and not feeling complete. And even finding out who I am through my sexuality. You know, I'm not. I feel like I am a child of God first and foremost, but really figuring out and who I am. So that's what Beloved is about. You know, all kind of transgressions are going to happen, but I have to keep telling myself to be loved.
Exactly.
So it's me speaking to myself, a letter, open love letter to myself is what that song is. The song that I have is called Choose Joy. And that song is basically about me growing up and people calling me a tomboy. And then I grew up to be who I am and love who I am. I decided to choose joy despite of what everybody may say about me. Opinions on who I am and how I dress and how I carry myself. I still decide to choose joy.
And choose yourself.
It's my decision to be.
Exactly.
I know it can be kind of hard being an artist, a female artist at that, because of how other women carry themselves in that.
Oh, Lord genre. Jesus.
Yeah. But it's just like,
Lord Jesus.
It's either you're raunchy or you're too tough.
Yeah.
Why I can't be both?
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the middle because I tell people I ain't changing no oil.
You try to give me both.
I have to. I got my own house. I
don't have to take care of the house, but still, you can be a complex human and a complex individual just like anybody else. You don't have to fit in a box. I think that's something, especially as an artist, where people, they look for a group or a demographic to sell to. They want to put themselves in a neat so that they're easy to sell, like Coca-Cola, Starbucks or something like that. But that's not how humans are made.
I feel like I'm very multifaceted. I my first album was called A Jar With No Lid. Now, I grew up in the 90s. I'm a 90s baby. So my show was a different world. And the episode with Crisscross. With The Jar With No Lid. And beginning of the album, it said you can be anything in the world you want to be, you know, garbage man or whatever, but there's no lid over you. So it's
no
like,
ceiling.
no. I was just, that was always my message. Like, be whoever you want to be. That's why I say that choose joy. Everything is starting to align.
So that's your message in the music right there. You want people to choose joy. Be themselves. What's your writing process look like?
Life happens first. And then I have to sit down and write.
Process it.
I learned how to start producing my own music. And that allowed me to like sit with myself and learn new things.
I have to ask this now. When you say that, produce your own music, and you can speak to our audience about that, because a lot of folks, they want to understand what that means. Do you mean the process of creating the song and recording it, or do you mean everything from making the music to creating the lyrics, recording it, editing it, and etc.?
Everything. Beats.
Because I want to know what you do. I want to know what you do.
Like I said, I grew up poor. Right? So we had to use resources. So what I did, I purchased a MacBook back in like 2017, which is crazy because I still have that same MacBook.
Wow.
The 2017, that it was refurbished. I bought it off my homeboy. But I just knew in school we used this program called GarageBand. But that was in like middle school. And it was a free program. So what I did was learn how to use GarageBand, which is very simple. Just record. So recording myself.
Were you making your own tracks at that time? Or you were just beats from elsewhere?
Internet beats.
That's what I was wondering.
Internet beats at first. And then I had to learn how to record myself. What does that look like? Buying a little microphone off of Amazon. Try to figure that out. And then I started meeting people like, I think he was one of the first producers.
Shout out Airborne.
So started working with him, teaming up, getting beats and stuff like that. And then I would go to his house and sit with him and watch him make beats.
Isn't that interesting?
I love his ear. I love his sound.
Yeah.
He makes some and then we're like, okay, what else?
Right.
Yeah, so learning from my peers basically on how to make beats. And then getting on different programs. Okay, how do because I can't catch a beat for nothing, but like getting on different systems and stuff like that. Yeah.
I can't catch a beat for that.
I can't. Please don't ask me to dance.
All right.
No, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But learning all those things, and I also like ad-libs on songs, and even making the beat, I learned how to use my voice, and then how to mix and all those other good things. So, yeah, from scratch.
From scratch.
Yeah, if you learn it.
That's one thing
So
people
who's your favorite producer?
Oh.
That you've worked with so far?
I'm gonna say locally because we
locally.
We're gonna go locally. I love Airborne, of course, Airborne Audio, and because shout out to Airborne, he really taught me so much as an artist and as a producer. So him and my homeboy Matt Graham from Charleston.
Go ahead, Matt Graham.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Chucktown stand.
Yeah, just a giant.
Yeah.
Matt actually produced. So I have Blocklist is the song that I had. The Vulnerability Project. And he produced that. Okay. And I always say thank God for Matt Graham because this, the city been singing that song.
Yeah.
So that was a big song. Blocklist, and he make beat tapes and stuff. So I really like listen in the morning when I get dressed. It's no lyrics, it's just beats, and it just make your mind wonder. So I always, I'm interested in that. I want to make a gospel beat tape.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's next coming up.
That's different.
I'll be waiting for that.
That's very different.
That's very different.
I grew up in the church.
That's what I'm saying. Like I like gospel music.
Yeah. No lyrics.
It's funny though because people
it's
the vibe. So because gospel music people gotta remember, and I guess African American music history in America, everything comes from spirituals. That's your jazz. That's your rock and roll, R&B, blues. Considers that's Americana outside of like Appalachian folk music. It all comes from spirituals.
Yeah.
Outside of everything was that you consider to be Western music is old Mozart style music. That's what it is. And so when you try to like get gospel music out of what is current, you're leaving your history. I said, I love my gospel music. I be telling people, they be like, what are you listening to? You got up it be jazz music and gospel music. Yeah. That's what I play in my office at work. So when you come in, you're gonna hear somebody sing some gospel music. You're gonna hear some jazz music, one or other. You ain't gonna hear no Sexy Red. Yeah. No Sexy Red's my favorite. Yeah. You ain't gonna hear no Sexy Red. And they're like, dang, that's what you listen to? I'm like, yeah, because that's the basis of all of our music.
I feel like it'll reach a different crowd as well.
It will.
I'm good for the people who feel like they don't belong.
Like black sheep.
Yeah. Yeah. You say he left the 99 for the one. The one. Yeah.
You don't follow
the 99. Yeah.
I'll do your thing.
Yeah, I go after the one. So I really feel like I am put here to reach the weird people, the awkward people, the people that feel like there's no place for me.
Yeah.
And I do that through my music. Yeah. And it still brings everybody.
What's your fan base like? Like, who your day ones?
Shockingly, I went to Charleston. I performed at the music forum there for a hip hop tribute show. That was big for me, y'all. I grew up music forum.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Went down there. And this Caucasian lady does not look like me because there was also a set that was there for country music, Sheryl Crow set or whatever, and she was a part of the Sheryl Crow set. And she stopped me and she was like, "Hey,
who are you?
Who are you again?" And she was like, "I just want to say I've been paying attention to you for years. I've been following you for years, and thank you for talking about God in your music. Like I see him through you, and just keep doing that because there's a lot of people that don't talk."
Oh yeah.
Love your soulfulness and everything. And I was about to cry. Like I really was, because I was like, you know me?
It was genuine though too, right? Yeah. It was genuine.
She don't look like me, none of that. But it's like, keep doing what you're doing because I've been following you ever since you started. Like I see you. So broad.
Yeah.
Like it's kids, because I got my little cousins up there rapping my songs and tagging me on whatever. And then it's the, even my family, we have dinners and stuff, and they play the
music.
And everybody know the lyrics. I'm like, oh my God, y'all know this?
Oh,
surprising.
I'm gonna cry.
It's surprising. Yeah.
It's very broad.
Yeah. That's good. You have support.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with your younger cousins, they're going to ride for you.
Yeah.
They're going to promote you.
Yeah.
They're going to blow you up.
Yeah.
The younger generation.
Yeah.
So that's a plus.
They get to see you.
I'm very blessed.
You ain't lying. And, and I'll tell you this too. I thought this was really this like weird little statistical stuff, but I feel that especially with like gospel music, right now and what you're able to do with it as opposed to when we were first growing up, like finally getting a person like Kirk Franklin to make the music feel young, it has taken off to the point great as a popular music medium. So like you can do gospel with rock, hip hop, whatever it is, blues, etc. You can do a gospel thing with it. And I thought this was interesting because like this year, this is like the first time this week was like, this is interesting news, but this week was the first time since 1998 for no hip hop songs on the top 10 when it comes to like urban music. It was all pop music. Yeah, all pop. And I was telling my brother about this. I was like, I think part of it is because our message in hip hop has become so negative. I hate to say it. I don't want you shooting at me with the ops.
Yeah.
I don't want you forcing me to do drugs that could kill me like fentanyl out here. I don't want to be out here telling you like the negative stuff you're going to do to my wife because you're going to steal her because you got money and I find Jeff to go to Dubai. Like that stuff doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
So like, why would I want to be a part of it? Right. And so one of the things I think that's happened is the music has become so negatively driven for financial success that it itself into obsolescence. It will be gone because no one's going to want to pay attention to it when all I can do now, since I know what your formula is, I can take your hip hop formula and I can put it on a country music song.
Yeah.
I can take it and put it, what they're doing, I can take it and put it on a pop song. I don't need you anymore.
Generating their own music now?
They don't us anymore. And when I tell people that, they say, what? I'm like, yeah, because you need to make a product that people actually want to consume. Because back in the day, hip hop, you wanted to consume it because it was doing what you're saying. Reaching that one, that outsider, that person that needs to feel like they can be received. And that's what hip hop used. It has made everybody else an outsider because to be involved in it, you have
relate.
to be. There you go.
I don't relate.
I don't relate to them guys. I don't lie. I tell people, I can listen to Moneybagg Yo. I can listen to Sexy Red. I don't relate with them.
Yeah.
I don't know these black people.
I listen to reggae.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying because I got to relate. I got to relate.
Reggae all day.
So cool about what you're talking about. I think that's awesome. And this is leading into this next question. I know I'm going to hold you too long because we want to get to this one and let you get some promotion. But can you tell us a little bit more about your journey with Aware Studio and the hardships that you faced with that new adventure? And what can we expect from you and your community support with that journey?
Okay. I'll talk about it. All right. So I had Aware for 8 months, right? It was a place, a warehouse that I had here in Columbia, right? Now, I had it for a few reasons. It was for basically an incubator for local artists. That's what it was for. It turned into a hangout spot. It did. I had to shut it down. All because I'm gonna tell you, it's a few barriers that we have in the African American community. For one, funding is an issue. It's an issue. I'm a Black woman doing this all by myself. No help, So went from where, because this is the slogan that I had, where art and storytelling collide.
That's
nice. So I'm not gonna let it down. It's still gonna be Aware, but it's not the physical location.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be when art and that's
smart. That's smooth.
So it's going to shift into a whole different direction. And I still want to tell stories. Like I still want people to tell their story. But like I said, it's barriers. It was the financial difficulty because I have a mortgage.
So you're grown.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna let my house go. So
it's either one or the other.
Yeah. So and then I went back to my career being a school counselor too.
Yeah.
So I did that. Personal life stuff. Like I said, I lost my dad in the midst of all that. So I felt like I was losing myself. I for a while, stopped shows, everything. And it was like I needed to just stop everything to find out who I am.
Mm-hmm.
There's a benefit to that though, because I had to learn about ordinances, I had to learn about codes, I had to learn about all these things.
Yeah.
So tell me nothing when I come back and do it a different way. So even about funding and resources and things like that, now I know the formula.
You're prepared.
Yeah. So when I come back, not if, but when, we'll see.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah. So how can the community support you? Like you said, funding and just if anybody knows any resources to just hit you up.
I would say just listen. Mm-hmm. Just listen and just look and see what I'm doing.
Okay.
See if that's something that interests you first and foremost. Like I said, I want to invest in every. I know it was on the 2-notch side of town, and some people ain't too fond of.
I ain't saying nothing.
2-notch.
I ain't saying nothing. Don't judge me.
It's okay though, but I feel like it was a purpose on why it was there. I believe in 2-notch. I really do. I feel like it can be the
you made me believe in it. You made me believe in it. You made me believe in it.
Yeah,
you're right.
Like we can revamp. Property. Right. I feel like we can revamp 2-notch, but it's going to take us as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do it by myself.
Yeah.
So I do want to be on that side of town. I want to stay serving that side of town. So it's going to start there, and just me. I feel like myself.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get out there and research. My research didn't stop at the building. I need to figure out how to connect with the people.
Oh yeah. I
got to get out of my box of being an introvert.
Yeah.
Because when you're a businesswoman, you
out the window.
Unless you got good reps that go out there.
Yeah. Tours.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be driven about, how do I do this thing?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be reaching out to some, business owners about how to do this thing the right way.
Okay.
And not fail, because I don't feel like the first one was a failure. I don't think Where was a failure.
No.
But listen, I did it by myself, attain the property and everything. Wow. Like that was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah. Especially as a young professional.
Yeah.
You didn't have anybody on the backing or anything to make
Didn't know anything.
You weren't propped up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was,
Didn't know anything, how to obtain a business license or any of that.
Yeah.
Like, say I enrolled in the South Carolina Arts Commission. Mm-hmm. They had a class with Miss.
Shout out.
So I took that class and learned all about, small businesses and how to thrive. So, that was one of the I know I need more of that.
Yeah.
In order to do this. Like I went to school to be a school counselor and how to do that and got the experience. But it's like, I know I want to be a businesswoman. I want to provide for my community in the way of arts. So it's like, I need to learn how to do that too. Don't just jump in it. Yeah, you have the knowledge to do so.
And the resources.
Yeah.
I agree, man.
So how can everybody find you, follow you?
Yes, drop them social.
Travel with you.
Oh my God.
Yes. Even a phone number if you want. No, actually, don't put
I'll be out and about, y'all. Sometimes I'll be at work mainly or in the house, but I'll be at shows and I tell people don't be a stranger. Like come up, talk to me.
Yeah, you don't bite people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna,
I haven't been bitten yet.
Yeah, so I can write about you. I wanna get to know you. So even you shoot me a message on or Facebook, Toni Esther SC. That's mainly
straightforward. Me, you can find it.
Oh yeah,
it's the same. Yeah, website.
Yeah, merch. Anything. Just purchase merch, please.
Where can they purchase the merchandise?
Aware. I got it in my trunk. I'm one of those too.
Okay.
I like to shake your hand and get to know you and really talk.
Like Master P did back in the day.
And a lot of time I just give my stuff away. I give it away.
You're too good.
I do it because, for one, like I'll get it back later on down the line.
Yeah.
But, it's
you
cool.
Put the right energy into it.
No one sees.
Yeah.
You got that merch with you today?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it.
I'm about to go get some.
Yeah,
you gotta pop that trunk for us real quick. Pop that trunk.
I get all
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I gotta wear it. It's like I'm wearing next episode.
Yeah, brand.
Yeah, well.
You play cards? I'll run.
You ready? You know your cousin don't let me play cards now. I'm playing cards because
I love spades.
Thank you.
Everything, all of my merch is a portion of me. So I got like coffee cups. I need to get y'all cups.
Yeah,
I got coffee cups, and because I love coffee.
I know you do. Yeah. Because you see how we'll put you. Yeah.
You
better do that.
Back. I'm gonna shoot home and then. Yeah.
Don't forget about us.
Yeah.
It's like I love free merch.
All right. Not gonna hold you. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up, but yeah, we're good. We're good. All right. So. My fault. That messed me up. I'm waiting for that merch.
Okay.
Right, so this is DJ and what?
Tamaya.
And our esteemed guest.
Yeah, Toni Esther.
We appreciate you joining us. Oh, before I forget, I'm feel bad if I don't do this. We are at Celeb Studios. Here at address is
224 O'Neill Court, Columbia, South Carolina, 29223.
Excellent. Great venue space. They hold events and host events here with Chef Jay and Nate. And matter of fact, number there for if you need it. Have it for Chef Jay is 803-667-9058. I'm reading backwards, y'all. I'm pretty darn good at it. Or you can connect with her husband, Nate. That's my dude right there. Slick as can be at 803-665-5265. And we also have a great intern with us today. Go ahead, Kendra. Kendra is awesome. Kendra is awesome. And we're happy to have her helping us today. Skip just stepped out for a second. But other than that, I just want to shout out for him. Hilltop Glove Podcast. Tell somebody next to him that you love them, that you appreciate them, that you cherish them. And until the peace.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast.